welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part of Traci Reed's YouTube hop using her new collection Weekender. There's a list of all the participants in the description box below, along with a link to buy Weekender if you fancy it. This collection is perfect for documenting those days out or even holidays that you might be taking over the summer. Oh, excuse me. Today I'm going to be creating a page in my date TN, which I've done a couple of pages in there so far. That was with Traci's A Flutter collection last month. I'm using these 3 photos, which I need to trim down. This is everything that I've printed out so far of the collection. I've got all the sticker pack, which I've printed out. I've printed out the 6x4 cards. I've printed out the 3x4 cards. I've printed out the journaling cards in 6x4 ones and the 3x4 ones, and I've printed out everything from the Traveller's Notebook collection. So I've got the Traveller's Notebook signatures and I've got the Traveller's Notebook papers, including the solids, which I've printed out this time as well, which I don't always do, but I decided I've got quite a lot that I can record this year. We've got quite a few days out planned and a couple of holidays, so I thought I'll print everything out and I'll probably end up using it all. I don't think I'm going to use, oh yes I did, I changed my mind, sorry. I am going to use one of the Traveller's Notebook signatures for this spread. I want to use this one, and now I need to choose a paper to go next to it. So if we just move this out of the way for a moment, so just get the colours that I want. Oh, let's grab that back. So I want to have that on that side. I'll probably create this knot in the book, and then I need one to go the other side. So I just wanted to look at the colours in my photos, and that predominant colour there is red and there's green, so I might go with the green. So the flick through. I want something fairly, well, not too busy, because I want to do lots on top of it. So I might actually go, no, I like that one. That looks good. I think. So give you a quick flick through these as I'm going through. I could do the clouds ones. It was a very cloudy day when we were there. No, I think I'm going to go with that because that does go very well with that signature, and then that's the solids. Now, one thing which I found today when I was printing them out is that I print out the Traci provides the travel everything as PNG files, but she also does a PDF where you can just send it to print and they're all set out for you on the page. The only problem, being a UK girl, is that when you print it out, it isn't quite TN size, because we're on A4 paper. So I've left the top and bottom not cut off on this one just to show you. So if I open that up and pop it in, it fits, but my printer doesn't print to the edges of those. So as you can see here, there's a gap at the bottom. So we'll have to do something to solve that. I'll probably just do a border like I did on this one, because I had the same problem with this one. But I find it's a lot easier and more economical with the paper to print out the PDFs, because if I try and print out the Traveller's Notebook signatures on A4 paper, I can only get 1 per sheet, and then there's a lot of wasted paper around it. So I'd rather print out slightly small, where I can get 2 on a sheet, and then just trim it down and then put a border at the bottom or a border at the top. Okay, so having explained that, I'm now going to go ahead and create this page. So I will move everything aside, get these 2 bits. I need to trim these down, trim my photos down. I'll put you on fast forward and then create this, and I'll see you again at the end.
So the first thing I decided to do was keep these 3 photos as a photo strip, but the way I'd printed them out, they didn't have the white border at the top, so I just mounted them onto a piece of white card, so I had a white all the way around. Of course, there were 4 photos I'm going to scrap today, not 3, which is what I said in the introduction. So having done those and decided on that smaller photo on the left hand side, I wanted to put something behind that. So I went through the 3x4 cards, trying to choose something to go behind the photo that goes with that TN signature, which I'm using there. And then I'm going through the sticker pack here, looking at which stickers I think I might want to use on this spread, and picking them out. There are so many stickers, it's sometimes difficult to choose which ones you want. And I wasn't choosing any particular colourway at this point. I was just going with one's words particularly that I liked. So I chose the green flowery paper just to back the photograph, and then tucked underneath that the card that's the 3x4 card that says sightseeing. And then I felt that I wanted to put a couple of tags behind it, so I grabbed another couple of the 3x4 cards and just used a tag that I've got in my stash to cut the corners off, and then hole punched it to finish it off. And I just felt that those finished off that little cluster there quite nicely. I did fiddle around with that for hours, so I cut that bit out. And then I just popped onto that one of the car plates, I don't know what you call them, that says, I can't read that while I'm doing this, I think it's we're going on an adventure or something like that. So over onto the right hand side, chose the blue paper to just as a mat behind the photo strip, and now I'm choosing which embellishments I want to make a cluster, bottom right and then top left. Trying different things out, auditioning bits and pieces. I liked these three down at the bottom, the green camera, the blue map, and the car plate which says we're going on a day trip, I think. And then I'm echoing that with the car plate over on the left hand page, so I wanted to then use a camera over on the left hand side. Decided to ink all the edges of the papers that I was using. I don't make you watch me do all of that, and I don't make you watch me sticking all of this down, but some of the embellishments I did put onto foam to raise them up to give it a little bit more dimension to the page. So with that and the inking the edges, I think it looks really good. The dimension there is pretty good, or the texture I should say is pretty good. As I said, I needed to put something along the bottom of this page because my TN pages are not quite long enough, and I thought this green camera paper was absolutely perfect. So just cut a couple of rows of that, stuck my completed spreads in, and then put the green cameras along the bottom, as you'll see me do now, which I really like how that looked. So I've got the green there in the camera, at the bottom right, and then echoing that in the green strip at the bottom. And then I've got, it's quite blue heavy, which I quite like. I wanted to use those binoculars because we did use binoculars while we were there, but I just couldn't get them to work, so I shall be using them at some other point in a different layout. Just tucked a little flower behind that cluster, as I've got flowers in the cluster up on the right hand side of the page, and then I also stuck a little flower down in that bottom right cluster as well. Really wanted to use that travel often piece, but I tried it in so many different places and just couldn't get it to work. A little bit more texture here, adding in some string to my two tags here. And when I've done that, I actually stick that down with a little bit of glue. Don't see me doing that, but I'm fussy with how my pieces of string lay, so I always use a bit of Nouveau glue just to stick them into place. So having done that, the next thing to do, I think, is to write my journaling. Yeah, this is, we went to a place called Knoll, which is a National Trust place down in Kent. Lovely house and beautiful grounds. The day before it had been really sunny, so we were hoping for a sunny walk around the grounds, but it rained on us, but we still had fun. It was a nice day out and nice not to be at home doing jobs around the house. So we like to try and go out at least once a month and do something together, have a date day together. Now we're both retired. So finishing off this layout with some Nouveau drops around each of the clusters. I just used a green to bring in a bit more of the green into this layout, which does seem to be sort of quite green heavy, I think, actually, as well as blue. So there's the finished layout. I hope you've enjoyed this very quick process video. There was a lot of faffing choosing bits and pieces, which I cut out because I really didn't think you wanted to watch all of that. As I said, this is part of a YouTube hop for Traci Reed's design team for the release of Weekender this weekend. So do have a look at the list below and go and visit all the other YouTubers and see what they have created using this collection. There is a link in the description box below if you want to buy this collection from Traci. It is a lovely collection. I've printed it out twice already because I know I'm going to be using it a lot over the summer. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.